guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jimothy. Now, with the recent release of Dual Overload and the amount of link monsters and support for archetypes that were quite questionable, I wanted to do a profile on the Simorgh deck. Now, this deck is a deck that I've been playing for a while. It's pretty budget to pick up. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight into the profile. So to start us off, we are running triple Simorgh Bird of Beginning. Now, what all the little Simorghs do, they have a secondary ability to special summon themselves to your field if your opponent controls no spell or trap cards. So really useful. And what its initial effect is, Simorgh Bird of Beginning allows you to have an additional normal summon for a Simorgh monster. So really useful. I tend to try and start my plays off with this guy along with the next one I'm about to show you. So definitely a 3-up in this deck. Next, we are running triple Simorgh Bird of Bringing. Now, what Bird of Bringing allows you to do is add any Simorgh card from your deck to your hand. Now, it could be a field spell, it could be a monster. Really useful. Again, this is a play starter and it's upon normal summon as well. So once you've got their effects off, essentially what you're supposed to do is link them up. They come back out onto the board and you can continue to do your plays. But this is a definite 3-up in the Simorgh deck. Next, we are playing double Simorgh Bird of Calamity. Basically a foolish burial for the deck. It allows you to tutor out any of the dark Simorgh monsters, which I'll go into in a moment, from your deck to your hand. So kind of useful. And for a 1-up for one of the baby Simorghs, we are running one Simorgh Bird of Protection. What this allows you to do is spin one spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field back to their hand upon its normal summon. Again, this isn't as useful as some of the other ones, but I do play it at 1 because I wanted to try and play a purer build as possible. So yeah. Next, for some secret saucy spicy tech, ladies and gentlemen, we are running triple Lady Ninja Yay. Now again, this synergizes excellently with this deck. So what she allows you to do is discard a wind monster to blow all your opponent's spell and trap back to the hand. So it's basically a giant Trunade, and with the number of wind monsters that you've got in your deck, it can be really useful, especially with some of your baby Simorghs who then can special summon themselves back from the graveyard onto the field to continue with your plays. Really useful card. I would recommend it. I do run it at 3 mainly because I've got quite a lot of level 8s and I don't want to see too many in my hand, and I want a way to get them out of my hand, so she kind of allows me to do that. Definitely a 3-up in my opinion. If you wanted to tech in something else, by all means go for it. Next, for our 1-ups, we're running one Cock-a-doodle-doo and one Miss Valley Thunderbird. Oh my days, infinite luck for days with this card. So when this card returns from the field to the hand, it special summons itself, and there is a bit of a cheeky luck that you can pull off with this Miss Valley Apex Avian. Cock-a-doodle-doo, basically a wing beast tuning for the deck. If you can special summon it from your hand, if there are no monsters on the field, it becomes a level 4. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it and it's a level 3 tuner. It does get banished when it leaves the field, however it can be useful going into some of the synchro monsters that we've got in our deck. So yeah. Next, on to some of the bigger Simorghs, we are running double Simorgh Lord of the Storm. Now, what Simorgh Lord of the Storm allows you to do is when your opponent activates a spell or trap, you can target one monster on the field, shuffle it back into the deck. Also, it's got an additional effect, whereas if a wind monster is destroyed by battle on the field and this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. So it does kind of recur itself, and along with the field spell, it can actually get out pretty quickly. So definitely a 2-up. Next, we are running double Simorgh of Darkness. Now, this card actually becomes a wind attribute whilst it's on field as well. And it has the effect where if it's in your hand and or your graveyard and you tribute summon a wing beast monster, you can special summon this card onto the field. So it's got great recursion and it synergizes excellently with this deck. It also allows you to negate the activation of a spell or trap card by tributing a wing beast monster. So you can tribute itself, or you contribute another one of your baby ones should they be on field. So really good. Wouldn't play any more at 2 because you don't want to see too many level 8s in your hand. So definitely a 2-up. Next, we are running, for some additional support, triple Danger Thunderbird. You all know what dangers do right now. Special summon them. We play that Danger game. Discard a card, draw, pops a card on the field. Really, really useful. Again, synergizes excellently with this deck because it's a winged beast monster, and it can get rid of spells and traps. So definitely a 3 of in the deck, in my opinion. Next, for some more secret saucy spicy tech, we are running one cataclysmic cryonic Holdo. Wow, that is a mouthful. So basically, if a winged monster on the field is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you get to special summon this card from your hand, and you can place a spell or trap that is on the field back on top of the deck. It's your opponent's field. So really, really good. Again, it gets fodder onto the field for link plays or synchro plays or whatever you want to do with this card. Definitely a naughty tech for this deck. We also run one Mist Valley Apex Avian. Again, if a spell or trap card is activated, you can actually send a Mist Valley card from your deck from your field back to your hand. So this really does synergize with Mist Valley Apex Avian. If you get these two on the board, you've got an infinite lot, ladies and gents. Any kind of effect that's activated, tribute Mist Valley Thunderbird, he bounces to your hand, then bounces back onto the field. Your opponent goes to do something again, you can activate it again because it's not a once per turn. Really good card. Like to see this. And finally, we play one Dark Simorgh. Now, what Dark Simorgh allows you to do is you can banish wind and dark monsters from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand, and you can banish wind or dark, one wind and one dark monster from your hand to specially summon it from the graveyard. And once it hits the field, ladies and gents, your opponent cannot set cards. Now it puts up a nice cheeky little lock with anti-spell fragrance, which I do run in this deck, which we'll go over in a moment, but definitely a one-up in this deck. Next, we are onto the spells, and we are running triple Simorgh Onslaught. Now this card is fantastic. Again, depending on how you open your hand, if you open Simorgh Bird of Bringing, you definitely want to search this card because this allows you to discard a winged beast monster and add 2 Simorgh monsters with different attributes from your deck to your hand. That's primarily what you're going to be using this card for. Really good card. Again, it can get your Lord of the Storm and Simorgh of Darkness both into your hand to continue with what other plays that you want to play. So really good. Definitely play it as 3. Next, we have the Field Spell. Fantastic card. So Alborz, the Scarred Land of Simorgh. So what this allows you to do is basically it gives you an additional normal summon, and it reduces the cost of summoning wind beast monsters by revealing one in your hand and then summoning it to the field. It also gives you Simorgh monsters or any winged beast monsters a 300 attack and defense boost, so it can actually help get over some big beat sticks, and just gives you just enough attack to fight off that 3000 attack, which seems to be the caveat for main deck monsters, but really good card. I would play it at 3, but again, I don't like seeing too many in my hand. But starting off seeing this as well as Simorgh Bird of Bringing, you've almost got full combo. Next, for some support cards, running one Terraforming because I want to see my Field Spell, and I'm also running Trading. As you see, ladies and gents, we run quite a few level 8s in this deck, and Trading just helps to tutor out those level 8s from our hand, as well as giving us additional draws. Especially with Simorgh of Darkness, it's not actually a neg, because Simorgh of Darkness can special summon himself back from the graveyard should you tribute summon a winged beast monster, so it's really good. Definitely a 2-up in this deck. And finally, for some removal, I am playing one The Monarch's Stormforth. So this allows you to use your opponent's monster to tribute summon a monster of your own. Great removal, non-destruction, non-targeting removal. Really good. I only play it at 1. Next, we are onto the traps, and we're actually playing traps in this deck, ladies and gents. I don't tend to play too many traps because I don't like the speed of them. However, this trap right here, Harpy's Featherstorm, is a definite in this deck. So what it allows you to do is, if you've got a Harpy monster on the field, you can actually play this card from your hand, and it negates all activated effects that your opponent tries to do for the rest of the turn. So either your turn or your opponent's turn, you can use this bad boy, and no monster effects can be activated on your opponent's side of the field. Fantastic card. That's why I play it at 3. Even if I see it in my opening hand and I'm going first, even if I'm going second, I want to see this card because we do play a Harpy monster in our extra deck, which allows us to go into this card. So it says no to Nibiru, hand traps, anything you want, just a straight no. Can't activate monster effects. Fantastic card. Next, for the luck that I was talking about earlier, 2 anti-spell fragrance. So spell cards need to be set on the field before they are activated. Along with Simorgh of Darkness, it means your opponent basically can't play spell or trap cards. Simple as that. So next we are also running 1 Icarus attack. So you contribute a Wing Beast monster to target 2 cards on the field and destroy them. Fantastic card. I'll just look at it as a twin twister basically, but for everything. And finally we are running 1 Imperial Iron Wall. So basically when your baby Simorghs go to the graveyard and then they special summon them out back to the field, they're supposed to be banished, but if you manage to get Imperial Iron Wall up, it means that no players can banish cards. So effectively they go back to the graveyard because they have to go somewhere, which allows you to then use them again the following turn. So really good card. Yeah. And then finally we are running 1 Simorgh Sky Battle. So what this allows you to do is your opponent cannot target Wing Beast monsters for effects or battle apart from the monster with the highest attack. So that's going to be your Simorgh Lord of Storm or your Simorgh Lord of Darkness. Only those 2 monsters can be targeted in effects or through battle. So it's really good, especially with the new Link monster that we've got in our deck. Speaking of new Link monsters, going on to the extra deck, we are running double Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty. Now this is the new support we received in Dual Overload. So monsters can't target this card or Wing Beast monsters, and this card points to with effects. Fantastic, non-targeting effects. It also allows you to, in the end phase, special summon a Wing Beast monster with a level equal to or less than the number of empty spell and trap zones on the field, ladies and gents. Fantastic card. You can special summon whatever you want depending on the situation you're in, and the fact that it prevents targeting and destruction is just icing on the top. It makes this card or this deck a hell of a lot more viable. Definitely a 2-up. Would consider running it at 3. I have seen some builds with Part of Extravagance. I'm not running Part of Extravagance mainly because I don't own one, but definitely a 2-up, potentially a 3-up, potentially. Next we are running double Harpy Conductor. Fantastic card. Can protect itself by popping a spell or trap on the field, and it pairs nicely with my Icarus attack as well as Harpy's Feather Storm. Really good card. Fantastic. Next, for a bit of generic support, we are running 1 Great Fly. Gives you a little boost if it's destroyed by battle or card effect to get to add a Wing Beast wind monster from my deck graveyard to my hand. We're running 1 Linkuriboh, 1 Salamangreat Almirage. So what he allows you to do is go into your level 1, so your Lord Simorgh of Bringing, and this one allows you to get your any other normal summon card with a 1000 attack. Can't think of the names at the moment, but yeah, it's useful. Also, we're running 1 Wind the Wind Charmer. You can special summon a wind monster from your opponent's graveyard to your side of the field, so this link arrow points to. Useful. I don't tend to go into it too much, but nevertheless, it's there. Next, we are playing 1 the Desperate Doom Eagle. That's a bit of a mouthful. So this card is quite interesting. It takes 2+ wind monsters, and what it allows you to do, if your opponent has no monsters in graveyard, you can actually double its attack to 4800, which I have actually managed to pull off a couple of times, and it's definitely a big beat stick. You can also remove or shuffle back 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard into the deck as a quick effect. So say no to any kind of graveyard reliant strategies, because you can just bounce one of your your opponent's key combo pieces back into the deck. Really good card. Next, not too much of a fan of this, however it does allow you to get an additional normal summon, but it does lock you into synchro summons for the rest of the turn. High speed rubber band shooter. It's half decent. I tend not to go into it because of its restriction, however sometimes it can be clutch play, so yeah. Next one, we play 1 Deco Talker, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Nothing needs to be said about those. This is just a generic rank 3. Tend not to go into them too much, however it's there. You all know about the Nightmares. And finally we are running 1 FA Dawn Dragster. So for whatever reason, should one of my Simorghs get, I don't know, infinite impermanence or Forbidden Chalice. I've got the potential to go into a FA Dome drag style along with my cockle-doodle too, so it can be quite useful at times. I do like it. So yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Simorgh deck profile. Would you make any changes? Let me know in the comment section below. By no means am I an expert, but I do, ladies and gents, I do listen to your comments, and I do tend to kind of shuffle my deck around, and depending on the suggestions I get. So please get at me in the comment section below. And if you did like this video, do all that usual stuff, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.